NFL insider Michael Lombardi, kind enough to join the program here now. Happy one-year anniversary, by the way, of Cam Newton signing his first deal with the Patriots. Kind of a big deal, right? He's still...
Yeah, sure.
My question for you is, let's turn back the clock. Imagine if Mac Jones was on this team last year. How soon until Bill Belichick would have given him a shot on last year's team?
Well, I mean, last year's team had no practice. You had very little training camp, no preseason games. Really, the month of October was a wash for the Patriots in terms of practice time with the COVID problems that they ran into. So I think last year, without OTA days, without mini camp, without preseason, it would have been really hard for him to get on the field. That's what makes Justin Herbert's season at the Los Angeles Chargers so remarkable.
Hey, why is Mac Jones still not signed?
You know, usually what happens is there's language about the guarantees, offset guarantees. If he gets cut in year 3, what happens to the guarantees? Do the Patriots play it, or does the team that picks up his next contract? It's not about how much he should earn at the slot. It's usually language around the guarantees.
All right, so should we be concerned at all at this point?
Not in the least.
Okay, what about with Stephon Gilmore outside? What are the chances, do you think, that he ends up skipping the first part of training camp?
Well, I think he might do that, but I think ultimately when game checks come into play, that becomes more problematic. Look, I think the Patriots have a really good team. I think the one area of deficiency that on paper is the defensive backfield, especially at corner when Gilmore's not there. You know, it's harder when players go from the number 2 corner to the number 1 corner. Then their game has to change a little bit. I'm not saying J.C. Jackson can't take a step up or Jonathan Jones can't move over, but I do think it becomes problematic. I think the secondary, particularly at corner, has to be a concern for Coach Belichick.
Yeah, do you see him playing at his current number right now at all?
Well, I mean, people talk about his current number, right? I mean, he signed a huge contract that gave him a huge signing bonus that's prorated over the length of the deal. So it isn't, you know, we tend to forget that in contracts. Like, he's on an average of what the deal is. He just happens to be in the last year. Yeah. I do think the Patriots, which they've always done, I mean, I think they've done it with Patrick Chung, they've done it with Julian Edelman. They've always worked around the players that have performed the best. So I expect them to do that as well.
Yeah, because I didn't know if, like, them moving some of that cash to last year's contract, if now he's just thinking, great, you're closer to where I believe my value actually is.
They didn't do that. They just moved. What they did was they just prorated money forward. They gave him signing bonus. And so they really weren't deferring money out. They were just trying to manage their salary cap.
All right, well, we know Dont'a Hightower's back. He looks like he's in really good shape. He told the Globe over the weekend he's really, really looking forward to playing against Tom Brady in week 4. Does he really mean that?
Well, I think everybody does. I mean, I think it's an exciting game. I mean, it's going to be a time to bring back, you know, an old teammate, and especially an old teammate that's been responsible for the great success of the franchise. So, yeah, that game has special meaning. It's got a lot of intangibles that go around the game. It really may not have any impact on the season because it's an NFC team versus an AFC team. But in terms of the spotlight, it's going to be a huge game.
And then real quick before you go, a fellow linebacker, Chase Winovich, do you have any idea where this guy is? Like, did he get lost in New Hampshire? Like, we haven't seen him.
Is he walking the Appalachian Trail up in New Hampshire? I don't know. Doesn't the Appalachian Trail end in Maine?
You are, I think you may be right, in that neck of the woods. I have actually no idea at all. I've just seen his name kind of mixed into some trade rumors there. We didn't see him at minicamp at all.
Well, you know, that I don't know. You know, look, they have a lot of edge guys. I mean, the Patriots have worked really hard to secure the outside of their defense to make sure that they could set the edge and stop the run. And it's not always just about rushing up the field and trying to get a sack. It's about playing the run, playing through the tackles, and being able to really ultimately play physical on the end of the line of scrimmage.
Thank you, Michael Lombardi.
Thank you, Emerson.